There's been a lot of talk about Michelle Obama and the supposed videotape that was done at a Jesse Jackson sponsored event, I believe in 1994, in which she goes into a great tirade against the United States and against white people, and blames the United States and white people for famine and death in Africa, for genocide in Africa, and also blames Bill Clinton personally for genocide in Africa, and goes on to comment about black-on-black crime and how it can be solved if the blacks can just be convinced to rob and harm white people instead of other blacks. That's supposedly what it says. Just what I've read on the internet. So I don't know whether this tape actually exists. You know, it seems to me it would have come out by now, but you know, Clinton's not been on the ball when it comes to looking into a lot of Obama's background, so I don't see her doing a big job trying to get this stuff out. So it's possible it might come out yet. It is a fact that the church up there, which is where the conference was held, the church in Chicago that Obama recently quit, has scrubbed their website and archives of everything. So you can't go there and find any more damaging video, which I'm sure there's plenty more of out there somewhere. So if this tape does exist and it does make its appearance, it will be interesting to see what kind of effect it's going to have on the race. Now my prediction is that the people who follow Obama are going to say, but that doesn't mean that Obama feels the same way. Well, it's a little different whenever your pastor, who's not someone you spend every day with and go to bed with at night, has a particular point of view than when your wife does. So if your wife is, you know, going on a tirade about how the United States is the fault for everything in the world bad, and how white people are at fault for everything bad that ever happened to a black man, I'm sorry you can't make the fucking case that her husband is not going to hold some of those views, or at least be aware of them. Now, I want to see him try to wriggle his way out of that. But you know what? He's not going to even have to, because the slavish supporters of his are going to be like, you can't, and the stupid media are going to be the same with their softball. Well, what do you have a comment, Mr. Obama, on this supposed tape? No? Okay, then. Fucking bunch of jagoffs. So watch out for that and see what happens, because if he's forced to answer any kind of questions when it comes down to it, I don't see it ever even amounting to much of anything, except the people who already know that he's a sham, political hack, nobody, whose empty rhetoric and promises of change mean absolutely nothing, and that he's a product of the Chicago political machine, and he's been groomed for office, and he has absolutely nothing inside of him. He's an empty shell, good speaker, that's it, but he's pretty and he talks nice. So that's why we like him, and that's why we're going to vote for him, because he says all kinds of good things. What a bunch of fucking morons. And also there with Obama, and some more trouble for him, is his good old buddy Rezko was found guilty, I believe, on 16 counts, and I'm not sure on the exact number. In his trial, he's found guilty, and he's going down. So here's another guy who was a big financial backer and someone who was integral in the rise of Obama into politics being brought down, and someone he's had to distance himself from. So in the great long train to November, how many people is Obama going to have to throw under the bus? Reluctantly, because he hung on to right as long as he could, until it was political suicide to keep him in his fold any longer, just like he did with the church. So if it doesn't prove anything, it should prove to you that he because he's doing exactly what needs to be done, as any politician would do. Throw the people under the wheels and drive over them. And that's what he's going to do. So watch for how many more bodies get thrown out of his bus between now and November. If Clinton is not chosen as a VP for Obama, which I just don't see her accepting, I just don't see it happening, but no, I could be wrong. I think John Edwards would probably be a good candidate to fill into that position. He's favored by the Bilderbergers, from what I understand, and the Bilderbergers are meeting right now in Virginia, and chances are they're deciding yours and mine and the rest of the country's fate. Probably higher gas prices, higher oil prices, more economic misery, and more power for themselves. So thank you, Bilderbergers, financial world elite. We fucking love ya. So keep pouring it on, because this country needs to be ground into the dust a little bit more. So perhaps they'll make their decision. It'll be John Edwards, and maybe they'll decide who's going to win the presidential election too. So we'll find out that maybe as well. So that's all I have right now. Thanks, and good night.